Hey everyone, how are you? It is very, very late for a lot of people. I decided to jump on even just for, I don't know, half an hour or so, just to see how you all are. I wasn't going to jump on. I know we had some technical issues last night with the microphone. People were posting saying the second half of the show has no audio. I don't know why. Because to me, it shows I went into the settings, last night and had a look. It shows to unless we got copyrighted, but I don't have an email saying that we did. Hold on. No, I don't have anything from YouTube saying that we were copyright struck for anything. We'll see, but, it seems to be alright right now. Hey, Laurie, how are you? She says, "Thank God I was just about to buy a movie." I actually thought I had more time. I didn't know Trish did not do a show today. I had no idea, and I was sitting here going, "Oh, it's a nice Sunday afternoon. I'm just gonna wait for Trish to get off at, like, 2 o'clock or something." I had no idea she didn't go on. So I was sitting here and you guys had no show all evening, and, now I feel bad. So let's start with this. I have a story. Actually, I shouldn't be laughing. It's a very serious, topic. It's a child has died after an incident at a Wild Rivers water park in Irvine, and it's very sad. I think, with the weather heating up, we're heading into 4th of July. Weather things, like water kind of issues are going to start coming up a lot more often, especially, children being around water. Got to be very careful. Hey guys, how are you? Good to see you. Got to be very careful with water. It says here, we are deeply saddened to share that an incident occurred today at Wild Rivers. A 12-year-old boy experienced a non water but medical related incident. Despite the swift response from our team and emergency services, he sadly passed away later at hospital. Our hearts go out to the boy's family and loved ones during this difficult time. We ask that you keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Police were called to the scene early Saturday. Apparently, along with Orange County Fire authorities, paramedics, that's one word. God, you guys have titles for your paramedics that are way too long. It says after receiving calls for medical aid at the park located at what is that, like 10,000 Great Park Boulevard. It says it does not appear to be water incident in the water. So basically, he wasn't in the water at the time, but suffered some sort of medical related incident. I think my statement still stands when you're spending any time around water, even if it's water related or not. Even so, if someone was at a water park and they had a heart attack, the added water around you is going to drive up your risk factor by like 10,000%. It's just going to be, your chance of getting hurt is going to be skyrocketing. I haven't heard anything. Normally, if something bad was going on, I would know. Hold on, I can check in for you guys. Hold on. Let's see if she's awake. Let me just check in with them and see if they're all right. I just sent them a message. Oh, she's got laryngitis again. Not again, really? She's still suffering from kissing all the boys at CrimeCon. Hey Marilyn, how are you? St. Helens, Eden Westbrook. I don't know that one, but we can have a look. I don't really have any like super strict topics for tonight. Normally I have like a whole stack of them, but I haven't I don't have like a massive type of backlog of stories tonight, but I can find some. Actually, let's check into the killing at Fordyce yesterday. There was a shooting at Fordyce at a place called the Mad Butcher, or yeah, the Mad Butcher grocery store yesterday. Let's have a quick look. There, his name is Travis Posey. We did that yesterday on the show. Let's see if they've got a court booking photo for him now. Okay, Arkansas. Yeah, here we go. There's a little bit of an update apparently. A little bit of an update. They're saying here, there's a witness statement. Katrina Doherty, who had been shopping for dinner with her 18-year-old daughter and 4-year-old son. That's a hell of an age gap. Well done, Katrina. She said she first heard what she thought was something falling, but then saw glass shattering and someone dropped to the ground. That's when she knew shots were being fired. Can you imagine being in the shop, buying your dinner? You know, what are we gonna have tonight? We're gonna have pasta. Should we get a rotisserie chicken? And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what was that noise? Did someone drop a jar? And then you realize that someone is firing through the windows of the store. I think that is would be brutal. I think your world would flip in a moment. By the way, I missed this as we came in. Laurie, that is extremely kind and very generous of you to put up a super chat at the start of the show. It's very sweet of you. Thank you. Sorry I didn't get to it when we first started. It says here outside David Rodriguez. We saw him yesterday. He was on the video they did. He was one of the first witnesses that they all the news stations interviewed. It says outside David Rodriguez was pulling into a gas station when he heard pops that he initially thought were fireworks. He then noticed the grocery store's front windows were broken as if they had been shot open by gunfire. It says panicked shoppers then started running away as gunshots were fired rapidly. A man had opened fire at the Mad Butcher in Fordyce, killing 4 people and wounding 9 others. Those killed ranged in age from 23 to 81 years in age, including one person who police later announced died Saturday evening. So that death toll increased later in the night. It says law enforcement responded to the shooting around 11:30 a.m. and exchanged gunfire with the lone suspect, according to the Arkansas State Police. Cell phone video captured a man in a parking lot aiming a long gun and firing in multiple directions. I think we saw some of that footage yesterday. They said not finding an escape route, Doherty and others in the store hurriedly hid in the freezer. Clever idea. Doherty's daughter and son, who were in a different aisle, reunited with their mother in the back of the store and followed 2 store workers into the freezer. The 39-year-old mother said she heard about 9 or 10 rounds before making it into the icy shelter. We ran in there really fast. We heard gunshots kept going off. It was like slow motion. My daughter was like, "Mama, pinch me. This can't be real." And I was like, "Baby, it's real." I can't imagine having to have that conversation with my child to say, yes, all the things that we have seen in on TV and, on Fox News or whatever, they, you, they really, that's happening to us right now. Right now, we are in a live shooting. I can't imagine what that would be like to have that conversation with my child. So she's a good mama and glad that her and her kids are okay. And she made a good choice. Go to the back of the store, hide where there's somewhere to put some sort of layers between you and the outside or you and the shooter. Although if you can find an exit where you can get out, that would probably be better. But I don't know if all stores have a back exit or not. Kathy says, we have a 7-year gap between child number 3 and child number 4 because we thought we were done having children, but then surprise. A drunk night, bit of Merlot, and late night on the couch. I don't know. I guess that's how it happens. Yeah, it is very scary. I think that people just getting I can imagine in my head people just having, you know, walking around trying to get their dinner and then you hear gunshots. I mean, it would be very, very scary for them. So I'm sad to hear that that death toll has gone up. Uh, but it sounds like some other people have recovered in hospital. So that is good. But that age range is huge, 23 to 81 years old. So that says to me that possibly, I hate to say that, but someone who couldn't get away as quick, maybe, got caught in the gunfire from the shooter. That is a horrible thing. I would have hoped that they might have been more protected by everyone. It is very sad. Let me see if I can find a list of names and who unfortunately passed away. Let me see. Where's this guy? Da, 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 Tyler Eugene Posey is his name. 14 hours, 16. Yeah. So that article I just read from is the latest article. It got released 10 to 15 minutes ago. Suspect identified. Yep. All right. Nah, we can't use that. Um, da, da, da. Matt Butcher. I was going to show you something, but we can't use it because it's from ABC World News at night. But that particular show, you can use some ABC footage, but not that particular one. That one, they are very, very trigger happy with the copyright. So we can't use that one. Give me a second and I'll find you. Look at that. That's what she's talking about. When she was inside the store, she heard the gunshots going through the window. So you'd have to be inside there knowing that someone is shooting into the grocery store. There you go. That would be frightening as hell. Okay, 44-year-old Eugene Turner. Is there any names of the people? Not yet? I don't see any, so maybe they haven't released them as of yet. But I thought I saw a booking photo for that guy. Hold on. Let me see if we get a booking photo of this guy. I do have a booking photo of him. It's not a very good one, and it's very pixelated. But here, I'll upload it for you. Here's a photo of Mr. Posey. There he is in his orange best, Sunday best. You can see him there. No, yeah, the girl. No, yes. There's two. We talked about two age gaps. There's one of victims. One is 23. The other is in their 80s. But the mum that we read from originally, she has quite an age gap between her children. I think one is 18 and one is like 4 or something. So yeah, no, we did. You're right. You're 100% right. That's him. That's the guy apparently, Mr. Yep. Travis Eugene Posey of New Edinburgh has been charged with 4 counts of capital murder following the passing of another gunshot victim, and additional charges are expected. So they're expecting to lay more charges on him. And this information comes from the online county sheriff's office. Like they have a inmate system. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. So there you go. There's the online information system. It says on hold for another county. Call facility for time for visits. Do you want to visit him? You can apparently call the facility for a time. I'm sure all the media are like, "Hi, we're calling for a time to visit." Apparently, he's 44 years of age, and he's a doesn't say here, just says race, sex, white male. And intake was at 6:26 p.m. on the 21st. So, yesterday for you. And it says first degree something, probably murder down there. So there's that. Let me see. Fox 13 Memphis. Let's have a look. Good people. Nah, we watched that one yesterday. But there's some more footage of him. It looks like he got beat up or something. He's got a cut on the side of his nose right there. Maybe he got a gun butt to the face. It says here, ASP said the alleged gunman, Travis Posey, was also shot. Both the officers and shooter suffered non-life threatening injuries. Posey was taken into custody. Of the civilians shot, 4 died, and the rest suffered injuries ranging from non-life threatening to extremely critical. So there you go. State police held a news conference at 4 p.m., but did not elaborate on a possible motive for the mass shooting. So, no motive that we know of right now for this guy. I don't know. Did he go inside? I don't know if he did. I don't know if he went inside or he was shooting into the store. Almost sounds like he was shooting into it. Uh-huh. No, no, he did. Matthew Gill, the meat manager at the Mad Butcher, told CNN a man came into the store with a shotgun and ended up in a shootout with police. Two police officers were wounded in the gunfire, with one released from hospital Saturday evening, another having minor injuries. The suspected shooter, identified as 44-year-old Travis Posey, was also wounded and taken into custody. So, no, he did. So, did Okay, that's interesting because the woman said she heard the gunshots coming into the store. Maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just a figure of speech that she was using because it sounded like he was shooting from the outside in, but maybe he was shooting from the inside out. But it doesn't matter either way. But yeah, it definitely says here the manager at the Mad Butcher told CNN a man came into the store with a shotgun and ended up with a shootout with police. So he did enter the butcher at one point. He started shooting from the outside, then went in. Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds right because the woman said she heard the gunshots coming in through the glass window, and that's how she was alerted to the shooting. So yeah, makes sense. If you were in a shootout with police, what would you do? If you were out in the open, you would try to go somewhere where you had some sort of shelter, right? Right? You'd want some sort of shelter between the outside and you so you could hide. So he would definitely want to go in that supermarket. There's your little update for that. Very sad to hear another person passed away. Not what you want to hear. Let's see. What else do I have? Okay, this is interesting. Shall we stay in Arkansas? We can do that. I have an interesting update about a woman whose body was found stuffed in a plastic tote bag and dumped alongside a rural county road in February. And they think they found the guy. Let me see if I can get a bit more information. This is the article from Fox 13. They say a man was arrested months after a woman's body was found in a plastic tub? What is a plastic tote? Plastic tote. Let's have a look. Oh, okay, okay. We have different meanings for it. So a tote, you guys would consider this kind of thing like a plastic box like that. We call these snap tubs here, or a lot of people do. We call them snap tubs because they have the clicky things on the edges. But you guys call it a plastic tote. We consider this a tote bag. This thing. She was found in one of these type of hard plastic box. She was found in that. So there's the definition of that. They said M Mika or Micah Lacey of Forest City was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse on Thursday, June 20, according to the St. Francis County Sheriff's Office. The arrest stems from the discovery of the body of Troy Alexandra in February. Strope's body was discovered inside the plastic tub off the highway near Forest City by a group of boys who were riding four-wheelers. He was given a $1 million bond, the sheriff department said, and additional arrests in the case are expected in the future. Let me see if I can find anything else about this man or the woman. Let's look up her name. Troy Alexander Strope. Body found off County Road 731. Okay. So it was back in February 26th. They said here, this is their county sheriff's office. It says body off County Road 731 identified. The body discovered in a grey plastic tote on County Road 731 just off Highway 334 has been positively identified as 42-year-old Troy Alexander Strope of Forest City, Arkansas. Authorities were notified last Tuesday afternoon after some boys riding four-wheelers in the area discovered the tote and called the sheriff's department. At this time, investigators are working the case as a homicide and have a few leads to go on. Well, now they know, allegedly, who did kill her. I'm gonna get a photo of him and show you. Come on, my friend. Let's go. Alright. That's a terrible photo, but here. This is the man who has been arrested for her alleged murder, and hopefully we'll find out more as we continue. God, this microphone is so busted. Come on. Hey, Kim. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for liking the video. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you, Kim. I very much appreciate it. Drive safe out there, okay? Kathy says they're gonna need a bigger tote. For him? Probably. Yes, they're gonna need a bigger tote. He looks mean. He does sort of look like the guy from the Friday movies, right? He looks sort of similar. But that is very sad that she lost her life and was dumped on the side of an Arkansas road and just left there like she was worthless. Um, Apparently they did a search warrant too. Person of interest. Okay. They said they executed a search warrant to gather possible evidence in regards to the murder of that woman. They said what we got was ample. It doesn't take but a speck. It doesn't take much, but we think we got ample forensics. He would not comment on what items were taken from the home. We possibly think some blood in the residence. Strope's nude, decomposed body was discovered inside a plastic storage tote on February 20 by those kids on the four wheelers. Sheriff May says two brothers live at the Burford address. One of them was arrested Thursday on a drug charge and unrelated to the current search warrant. The other occupant of the house was not detained. At this time, we just don't have enough evidence to make any arrests. We certainly haven't talked to any eyewitnesses. Okay. The sheriff would also not say how the woman was murdered because they don't want to jeopardize their case before they can get to court. They're saying, here's a photo of her actually. Very pretty lady. There's a photo of the woman, Troy Alexander Strope of Forest City, Arkansas. She's the woman they found inside the container. Yeah, they definitely said they are expecting more arrests and more charges over her death. So I would suspect he didn't do this alone. Someone helped him or someone else knew of how she died and did not report it. That is pretty common and they like to charge people that don't come forward and help the investigation. So I would suspect we're gonna see more people charged over her murder. Let me see if I can find anything. It's weird that this one didn't get a big media push at all. 3 months, they didn't know who killed her. I can't even find a video on her to show you. Let me see if I can find anything about her. No, like, I can't find anything about her. Crime News did a video February 29th on her, but that's a private YouTube channel. But actual media, no one. No one outside of true crime did a video on her. Yeah, can't find anything at all. Maybe this one? Let's have a look. All right.
News in the investigation of an Arkansas woman found dead last week in a plastic storage bin. The St. Francis County Sheriff says there is a person of interest in the case. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hurst. We've also learned that a Forest City home was searched today for evidence in the death of the 42-year-old woman. WRG's Mike Sirianni has details you'll only see on 3.
The information that we received through our investigation is a possibility she was murdered in that house. Possibility.
St. Francis County Sheriff Bobby May with a major update in the death investigation of 42-year-old Troy Strope, telling WREG deputies armed with a search warrant swarmed this home on Buford Street in Forest City Thursday, gathering possible evidence connected to Strope's murder.
We got what we think is ample. It doesn't take but a speck. It doesn't take much, but we think we got ample forensics.
Sheriff May would not comment on what items were taken from the house, but added,
"We thinking possibly some blood, in the residence."
Strope's nude, decomposed body was discovered inside a plastic storage tote February 20th by youngsters on four-wheelers riding on St. Francis County Road 731. Sheriff May says 2 brothers live at the Buford Street address. One of them was arrested Thursday on a drug charge unrelated to the search warrant. May says the other occupant of the house was not detained.
At this time, we just don't have enough evidence to make any arrest. We certainly haven't talked to any eyewitnesses.
While I was at the address Thursday, a man who said he lives at the house would not comment on why deputies had been there earlier and told me to leave his property. Sheriff May says he knows how Strope was murdered, but he can't jeopardize the case by releasing those details.
Only the person who actually did it or persons who were there would know how she was murdered. So we don't want to make that public.
In Forest City, Mike Sirianni, WREG News Channel 3.
So it sounds like they're keeping that information about how she died as a bit of a keep back to try and, I don't know, they're trying to trap the murderer because only he would know how she died. And they don't want, it must be a very unique way or something maybe not obvious. Probably maybe strangulation. I don't know. Yeah, a bunch of children on like motorbikes came across the tub and realized that it was human remains and called the sheriff. Was she dismembered? How would anyone fit into that? Those 55-gallon ones are pretty big. I have some just here, and I reckon I was gonna say, Mrs. Ping, come here, hop into the 55-gallon tub. Let's see if we can get you in there. Maybe you would fit. Hey, do you reckon you would fit in one of these? Do you reckon you could lie down in one of these, like if you were in the fetal position? They're pretty big, right? Like it depends how big it is. If it was one of those little ones, like the ones that we have down there, you probably wouldn't be able to get in it, right? It would have to be this one. It'd have to be this giant one, right? It couldn't be those little clear ones like the ones down here, those clear ones. There's no way you could fit a female body in there, right? That's what they're saying. The people in the chat are saying if the box was very small, you would have to have either dismembered her or done something to modify her body. But in this one, if it was this big, you probably could. But that's giant. Like that's 100 liters or whatever. Sorry, we're having a bit of a personal conversation. Yeah, they're saying, "Do it, Mrs. Ping, for the science." No, she doesn't want to. Yeah, I just wanted to. I wanted to see what she thought because she'd be about the same size as that woman, and yeah, she says this one 100 liters. We have one here. You guys can't see it, but it's about 100 liters. This one, yes. We have others that are about 55 liters. No, you would have to dismember to get in. Yeah. Oh, yeah, like women found in suitcases. Yeah. Uh, there was a there was like a whole bunch of them last year. I remember we did a whole weekend of shows where every day it was like a woman was found in a suitcase, and the next day a woman was found in a suitcase. We did like 3 days of them all in a row of women being found in suitcases. It was pretty funny. Not funny, funny, Ping. That's the wrong word. It was pretty interesting why so many on that one weekend decided to use suitcases. Not funny. I promise, not funny. Yeah, she's still not feeling 100%, so she's not going to be jumping into any tote tubs today. Maybe another day. But yeah, I don't think they have a photo. Do they have a photo of the tote tub? Let's see. Let me see if I search her name in here. Can we find Troy Alexander Strope? Let's see if we can find anything about how big that tub was. Hmm. I don't see anything that describes anything. So that guy, Micah or Mika Lacey, has possession of a controlled substance charge, possession of drug paraphernalia, murder in the first degree. Well, he has that abuse of corpse charge. So maybe something happened to her body, like dismemberment, to be able to fit her in there, because he has that abuse of corpse charge on his record, and possession of a firearm by certain persons, which means he's a felon. He's not supposed to have a firearm. Let's see, anything else? I was hoping someone might have given the dimensions for what they found. No, I don't see anything, but it can't have been very big. If you saw a 100-liter plastic tub on the side of the road, you'd be like, "What is that doing there?" It wouldn't be very inconspicuous, would it? Rachel says Sarah Boone left her boyfriend in a suitcase and he suffocated. Is that the one where she said he got in it, like, as a joke or whatever, and they ruled it a murder? Is that the one I'm thinking of, where she's like, "Oh, he got in it as some sort of joke, and it was some sort of prank or something"? If that's the same one, let me know because I remember that. Hmm. Alright, one moment. I'm gonna have a look for that. Right, it was George Torres. That's right. February 2020. 42-year-old man died in Winter Park, Florida, when his girlfriend, Sarah Boone, tricked him into going inside a suitcase, then she zipped it up tight. He suffocated to death after his girlfriend zipped him into the suitcase and then filmed him suffering. Later, she went upstairs without realizing or caring that he would not be able to get out himself. Following his death, she was questioned but not arrested until the following day when she voluntarily went into the police for another interview. Yeah, I 100% remember this. It's a very horrible. I remember them trying to say, like, how is this a prank or whatever? Um, you didn't even, a prank is funny. Like, you do it as a husband and wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever, but it's supposed to be, it's play. Like, we know from children, right? It's play. It's something like, oh, that's funny, but hey, let me help you out and get you out of that situation. That is a prank and that is playful. It's not playful if you leave someone in a suitcase to suffer. That is torture. Then that's the line between play and torture. It's a real, there is no gray area. It's, you know, there's intent. The intent is to have fun or whatever, or the intent is to hurt someone. And that's basically how it works. She is a monster for doing that to him. I can't imagine how frightened he was trying to struggle in such a uncomfortable position inside that suitcase. Now, there have been other cases like this before. Actually, here, look at this. I think, is that the actual, or is that a reenactment? Let's have a look. Warning, this contains graphic video and disturbing viewer discretion is advised. Hey, we do that all the time here.
Sarah. For everything you've done to me. Sarah.
Oh my god, is that really actually the video? I thought this was like a police reenactment or something. That is terrible. I don't know if I want to.
For everything you've done to me. Sarah. You. Sarah. You. Sarah. Stupid. Sarah. That's my name. Don't wear it out. Sarah. I can't breathe, babe.
All right, I'm not going to play all of that. That's disturbing. That's one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen in my life. The fact that she's taunting him through it as well, and you can tell he can't talk properly. Like, it's like his neck is bent or something, and he can't quite breathe or talk or something. That is horrible. That's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Yeah, that's disgusting. I don't think I've ever seen that video. I've seen the case before and I know the details, but I don't think I've ever seen that video before. Yeah, that's horrifying. Like at first when the suitcase moved, I thought it was a police officer trying to show, you know how sometimes they do reenactments and they show, hey, this is possible or whatever. I thought that's what it was, and I was watching it and then I realized, wait, there's a woman laughing and talking, and I realized as we're watching it that is actually her video. Wow. That is not playful. That is not a prank. You can hear the anger in her voice. Like, this is for all the things you did to me or whatever. It's revenge. That's exactly what it is. It's spiteful revenge for whatever thing she thinks he's done to her. But, that doesn't include murder. Yeah, I'm not going to play that. I don't think we need to watch it. I think it shows a demonstration of how small a body can get, though. That's interesting. Especially talking about this other woman that was found inside a plastic tote box. But so that's an adult male, and that's in a suitcase. So that would be a pretty big plastic container, though. If you try and envision that into a plastic tub, it would be pretty large. And fabric is more flexible, as where plastic is not, it's rigid. So you don't have that flex that you do with the suitcase. Yeah, how horrible if you had like a claustrophobia type issues, like that would be your worst nightmare. It goes on for a while. You wouldn't be able to do anything because you would have to bend your legs to get in there, which means you have no force power to even try and kick your way out of it or break the fabric or something. You have no way of extending and using force to get out because you're so crumpled. You're basically incapacitated. They were called in for DV. Hey Bullseye, how you going, my friend? They were called in for DV all the time. That is not the first one we've heard. There's that other one, the OnlyFans model, who stabbed her partner in that hotel or apartment. That one is going through the trial. Okay. All right. I got an update from the two hoes in one garden. They're not feeling so well tonight, so they're having the night off today. They're not on because of illness. So there you go. There's your update. It doesn't say, but you would figure that they would have. I'm gonna say they would have looked in it because otherwise, why would they call the sheriff? They'd be like, "Oh, someone dumped rubbish. Let's call the sheriff." No, they must have either looked in it or were able to see through it and saw human remains or something. Let me see if I can find a better clarification for that information. Hold on, one moment. All right, let's see if we can find better clarification on here. 28th of February. Let's see if we can see what the boys did. Says a woman's body was found Tuesday, Feb 20, 2024 on County Road 731. Said the boys riding four-wheelers in the area made the grim discovery before they called the agency. Yeah, it sounds like they probably found the human remains because yeah, why else would they call the sheriff? If people dump rubbish all the time on the side of the road, they would just be like, "Oh, a plastic box." No, I'm guessing they looked inside. Hey, Deborah, thanks. Yeah, that is a very brutal video. Oh, okay. So some people obviously did not see that. Yeah, I just got an update from the the two hoes in one garden. That yeah, they're not feeling so good tonight. Sarah put her son in a suitcase too. Who's that? I don't know why killers tend to love suitcases. They just do. And why do killers all have random suitcases that they can put bodies in? I want to know that. Is it some sort of killer du jour? They're just like, it's the fashion right now in Killer magazine. You know, the summer of 2024, we have to all use suitcases. It's not plastic bags anymore. No more plastic bags. We're not using tote tubs either. It's the summer of the suitcase. Oh, her ex-husband put Sarah's son in the suitcase. That's where she got the idea from. Websource. Hey Trish, how are you? Yeah, we are two hoes, one garden. That is going to be your gardening podcast name, and that's what you can call it on. Uh, what do they call it? That one where you get people to subscribe or whatever. I can't remember what they call it. Yeah, but that's what you guys are going to call it. Two hoes, one garden. That is very funny. Yeah, feel better. I mean that cold that everyone has is going around. I had it. Like, I've got other people that have emailed me saying that they have got it right now. It seems to be sweeping the globe. Doesn't matter if it's summer or winter. Everyone has had it right now. It is awful. And my throat is still a little crackly. 2.5 weeks later, it's still not 100%. Yeah, feel better. Feel better, number one hoe. That's right. You're the number one girl. Uh, Gambler says there was a few years ago in Toronto, a doctor surgeon killed his doctor wife and left her at the side of the road. I think the suitcase belonged to his wife's mother. Okay, we can look into that. Hey, Gambler, has there been any movement on the murder of the billionaires? You know, the honey and her husband. Has there been anything in the Canadian papers? Let me know, because I am very interested in if they proceed with that. Yeah, I feel better. I don't know if any like creamed whatever you eat, that creamed wheat. I don't think that'll make you any better. So no creamed wheat. Try chicken soup or something. Yeah. All right. Actually, let's have a look. It's Barry and Honey, right? Let's see if there's any update on that because I haven't checked on it since we did the two-part show we did last year. I haven't had a look, so hold on. All right, let me scan through and see if there's anything. The bitter aftermath. Who killed Barry and Honey Sherman? Yeah. Let's check in the last couple of months. Past month. Every dog and their friggin' owner has done a video on this on YouTube. I don't see any new twist in case. This is from Australia. What are they saying? The pharmaceutical magnate was one of Canada's richest men, a dedicated philanthropist, and a staunch supporter of Justin Trudeau. But in 2017, 70-year-old Honey decided it was time to move closer to the city. So she and Barry put the home on the market. They listed the home for $5.5 million and built a new $27.5 million mansion in an exclusive suburb. But they never made it to the new home. In December that same year, real estate agents arrived to take a couple through the property. The gardener and housekeeper had already been to the home that morning. The alarm had been turned off, and then we know that they found the bodies down in the basement, right, in the pool area. As the agents took the potential buyers to the pool, they spotted the couple slumped over side by side on the far deck. Leather belts had been wrapped around their necks and attached to a metal pool railing. Their arms were tied behind their backs. The double homicide took the world by storm as police, media, and the public tried to determine why the billionaires had been slain. Now, there was a documentary released on some Canadian service. I can't even remember what it's called. Some small, I don't know if it's small, but some service that is not Netflix or Hulu. It's some other one. They released it last year, and it was made by the guy who wrote a lot of the paperwork on it for the Toronto Sun, I think. He was executive producer or something of it, and it goes into a lot more detail. Yeah, it is a pretty good documentary if you haven't seen it. I actually thought it was really interesting. Yeah, it's pretty old, right? Hold on, when did they die? 2017? Yeah? Billionaire Barry Sherman and his wife. It's not that old. 2017. Barry Sherman. Yeah, December 13th, 2017. Yeah. So this is 2024, 17. So about 8 years ago. Almost 8 years at the end of this year. Rachel, we did a couple of shows on it, but I got to admit, I kind of want to redo them and do them in a more structured way. Actually, this is probably a good time to talk about this. I'm considering dropping all late shows for forever, and that we only do a 9 o'clock show, on the compromise that you guys would get more structured pre-recorded videos on cases that are more edited and sort of like A to B, they go straight through. So like if we did Honey and Barry Sherman, you would get the whole case over 45 minutes or an hour with news clippings and like this kind of stuff you see on other channels, and you would get like one of those a week as a difference. I don't know what you guys would think of that, but it is something I am exploring, because sometimes I think we rush through things and we don't quite get all the details in the one show that I would like. And by doing a pre-recorded, at least I can review it and then be like, oh, I forgot to put this in. Hey, we really need to talk about that. I can show you this and I can insert that into the video. So let me know what you think. Yes, we did do them last year. We did a part 1 and a part 2. Lux says the late shows are the only ones I ever catch. It is a issue. Let me know what your opinions are. I haven't made a firm decision or anything. It's just something I've been thinking about for a while, because I would like to do a little more pre-recorded long form crime content, because there's sometimes we read about cases, but it's so quick, we just sort of like skim through it. Either that, or we could do live show, but it's just one topic for the whole night, and I can pre-plan it, and we can go through everything, you know, all the articles, all the paperwork, all that as a one topic show. We don't have to do it every night. It could just be one night a week. We could all pick a case and we can really have a look into it and delve deeper, because sometimes I think we just take a very surface approach. And yeah. All right. I hear what you're saying. All right. I hear what everyone is saying. All right. Well, maybe that's a way we could do it without compromising on the late show, because that was the two things I was thinking, was like we could either drop the late shows, which gives me the afternoon to work on the pre-recorded, or we could have one night a week where we just look at one case and we sort of work through the A to Z of it, and we look through the entire rabbit hole. Okay. All right. Well, we'll have a think about it. All right. We'll continue. It's just an idea. Stars. Yeah, the Toronto Stars. Sorry, not the Sun. Thank you, Gambler. And it's Kevin Donovan. Yeah, that's it. One Saturday a month. Yeah. Yeah, it's just that I sometimes just think that we're doing a disservice to some of the cases, because I'd like to show you a little more of what's going on. And sometimes I feel like we just kind of give you the headlines and keep going. Although a lot of people like that too. All right, well, we'll have a look. I'll see what people say in the comments. I'll see what people say in the chat, and we'll see. It's just an idea. And if you want to know the type of long form content I've been looking at, there's a channel that I really like the way they do stuff, and I would like to do something similar. Where are they? What is this channel called? I don't know if any of you know it, but it's a great channel. If you haven't subscribed and you like sort of investigative journalism, I would have a look at it. Let me just grab it. It's in my list. I watched all their videos last night. Where is it? It's this one. These guys, they're great. I'll show you here. It's Chopple. I don't know if you guys know this channel, but they do some great long form journalism on different obscure internet topics, and they even did one about where does glitter come from? Where does glitter come from? Very interesting. Apparently, there's been a big debate on the internet for many years about what is glitter used for, and what is the major sort of, who is the biggest buyer of glitter in the world? And people are like, it's in toothpaste, it's in it's in tabletops for kitchens, it's in boat paint. The answer is very interesting, and I actually already knew the answer for it, but very interesting if you haven't seen it. So if you want to know where glitter comes from and what it's used for, check out that channel. It's very, very good. All right, let's go back to more true crime. What about this? This is interesting. Oh, that sounds like it's quite painful. Okay. Let's do this one. Miami Township. WLWT has it. Let's go here.
Woman charged with killing her mother with a car in Claremont County made her first court appearance.
Today's appearance was the first time in court for 23-year-old Anna Millett, who was charged with aggravated murder. The judge setting bond at $5 million. Body camera footage showing officers responding to a home on Deerhaven Court. This is in Miami Township Saturday. Millett accused of pinning her mom to the back wall of the garage and accelerating forward. 64-year-old Joyce Millett died at the hospital Anna also accused of hitting two officers as she reversed that car. Officers finally used a taser on Anna to make her stop and take her into custody.
All right, let me just go back in that one. Hey, Journey to Justice, how are you? How are you? Journey to Justice says, "Is it late for you or us?" I think it's more late for you. It's only like 3 o'clock here, 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Yes, her own mother. How is that? It says here, a 23-year-old Clermont County woman accused of hitting and killing her mother with a car last weekend is being held on a $5 million bond. It happened in Deer Haven Court in Miami Township when police said a domestic situation ended with a woman pinning her mother against a garage wall with her car. In addition to murder, the 23-year-old Anne Millette is charged with felonious assault as well as accused of injuring two police officers during the incident. Like you saw in that video, I think when the car reversed, she dragged the police officers, and that's where they're saying the injuries occurred to the police. Investigators believe the situation started as a fight between the 23-year-old and her family. Officers said she pinned her mother to the back wall of the garage and accelerated forward. Her mother, Joyce, age 64, died as a result of the incident. Anna Millette appeared in court on Thursday and is scheduled to appear in court again on June 28th. Court records indicate her bond was set at $5 million. Body cam footage shows the moment police tried to free the woman before her daughter allegedly led officers on a chaotic chase that ended on Interstate 275 in Loveland. Police said they were able to gain control of the situation by using a taser. She was taken to hospital to be treated for her injuries. Wow. What the hell? Who pins their own mother in the garage, like just hits her and drives her back into the wall? That is brutal. Let me see if I can find anything else. Here. Says boyfriend says woman who killed mom with car hit two officers had mental health issues. Well, I mean, almost seems self-explanatory, but okay.
A Loveland woman is accused of pinning her mother against a garage wall, killing her.
Police released body cam footage of 23-year-old Anna Millette driving off after that crash and then hurting two police officers and starting a chase.
We're told this is not the first time she's hit someone with her car.
Alexis Martin has more.
Is where police say Anna Millette drove through the back of her home, killing her mother. On Saturday night, I spoke with neighbors who said this isn't the first time they saw Millette hitting someone with a car. They say a few years ago, she hit her boyfriend with a car. Today, I spoke with that boyfriend who confirmed she has hit him with a car. However, he says he doesn't blame her.
She wasn't herself, really. Her mental health was just bad. It wasn't really, I don't know. I didn't take it to heart too much.
Timothy Escobar says 2 years ago, Anna Millette hit him with a car.
I mean, I had to get some stitches on my face, and that's about it. They just kind of stitched me up real good.
Miami Township Police tell us Saturday morning, 23-year-old Anna Millette pinned her mother against the garage wall with a car. Police say the crash killed 64-year-old Joyce Millette, and that Anna then drove off from the scene, injuring two officers and leading them on a chase. Police released body cam footage, and the video may be difficult for some people to watch. The chase came to an end when Millette crashed her car on I-275 near the Loveland exit. Police say they tased her and she was taken to the hospital with injuries from the crash. Court documents show she pled guilty when she hit Escobar and was released from jail on shock probation July 6, 2023.
So she has a history of using vehicles as a weapon. That is what a way to kill your own mom, for real. Florida? No, Florida. It was like Florida Township or something. Hold on. Come on, mouse. Let's go. It was in Cincinnati. It's in like Florida town, no, Miami Township in Cincinnati. She was taken to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center. So I know it says Miami, but it's not Miami, Miami. It's Miami, Cincinnati. There are not girls with G-strings on a beach at this particular Miami. At least I don't think so. I know, right? He just was like, oh yeah, she likes to kill people. I know, right? Sometimes inaction is as worse as, doing the crime itself because you could have stopped a death. That is a mouthful. Oh yeah. All right. I think it's what time is it over there? It's 1:37 a.m. in the morning. And what is it for Pacific? It's only 10:37 p.m. on the West Coast. So all you West Coasters, I hope you're having a great Saturday night. For all the people on the East Coast, I'm guessing you're probably asleep. Yeah, it's 1:30 Sunday morning, very early Sunday morning. Let me see if I have anything else to do before we go. Actually, has there been an update on Soraya and her dad Aaron? Let's have a look. Uh, I They raided the family home a couple of days ago. I know that with a search warrant, but I don't see anything else about Aaron or his new girlfriend or whatever. No, I don't see anything new. That is very awful that they are still on the run somewhere, um, you know, possibly in Mexico. Yay, Natasha. Hey, how are you? Representing the West Coast. I like that. 1038 in CA. Yeah, that's the last thing I can find is that multiple agencies, including like the FBI, the state police, the local police, and the police from where Soraya is from, they all just raided the family's property a few days ago. Other than that, I don't have a new update about where they are. Mia Bailey. Is she the one who killed her family and then went on the run? That was a few days ago. We did do that one. I can do it again. I think they've arrested her though. Yeah, we did this one. I can show you an update though.
We have a breaking news update for you. The Washington County Attorney's Office is filing criminal charges against the 28-year-old woman, Mia Bailey, for allegedly murdering her parents, Joseph and Gail Bailey. She's accused of driving to her parents' home at 1039 East Chinhook Drive on Tuesday evening, shooting them both and attempting to shoot her brother. She allegedly told police she did not have remorse for her actions. Bailey is facing several charges, including 2 counts of aggravated murder and 1 count of attempted aggravated murder. The county attorney says they are not seeking the death penalty in this case.
Interesting. No death penalty in this particular one. Very interesting. It says here the woman arrested after allegedly killing her parents inside their Washington City home this week has been formally charged with 11 felony counts, including 2 for aggravated murder. Mia Bailey, 28, was charged Friday by the Washington County Attorney's Office, which said it will not seek the death penalty. Interesting. After being taken into custody Wednesday, Bailey told officers she had no remorse over killing her parents, saying, "I would do it again. I hate them." According to police, Bailey went to the home Tuesday evening and shot Joseph and Gail Bailey, killing them both. Bailey's brother and his wife, who were also at the home, were also targeted but fled when hearing gunshots. Bailey was charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder, 1 count of aggravated murder, aggravated burglary, and multiple counts of felony discharge of a firearm. Following her arrest, Bailey said she had a falling out with her parents and her brother, and she did not have permission to enter their home. She said she entered through the front door, which was unlocked, and then almost immediately began shooting at her mother. Hours after the shooting, she was taken into custody after a long manhunt that caused alerts and warnings to be issued in the nearby neighborhoods. I also know that apparently her mother copped more gunshots than the father did. I think her mother was shot 4 times. She was shot only twice. I mean, the dad was shot only 2 times, and the mother was shot 4 times. I don't know what that was about. I don't know if she had more anger towards the mother or she is just not a good shot with the gun and, you know, had to fire more than once because of adrenaline. I don't know. Colin Bailey? Yeah, I know this. I know the name that they wanna use is the chosen name and gender, so I have to go with what the article says. I don't want everyone coming for me. They didn't like yeah, so apparently the family had some sort of issues with something to do with the lifestyle choices. Ah, so from what I understand, they are a transgendered person who was originally a male, but now identifies as a female under the name Mia. I hope I got that right. I'm pretty sure that is right. But like the person in the chat said, originally their original birth name is Colin, right? Colin Bailey? Yeah, but the name they have chosen and want to represent themselves is Mia. I don't know why. I don't know the background of it. I don't know. Yeah, that's what they're saying in the paper. Yes, she hated her mum, but I don't have any background on that either. All I know is that her mother was shot 4 times and the father was only shot twice. Apparently she came back after shooting them a couple of times to start with. She went off to do something else in another part of the home, came back and shot them both again just to make sure they were dead. I mean, that is determination. Don't you guys will confuse me. You guys will end up confusing me on what to say, and then there'll be no more channel because everyone will come for me. Yeah, it is very sad. And we just heard 2 stories back to back of where parents were killed by their children, both quite young. The first one 23 years of age, and this one 28. Both in that like sort of, you know, still young adult phase between 20 and 30. Very interesting that this period of time seems to affect certain people very negatively. You know, I think for some people, they struggle to adapt to the adult life and they don't want to have the taps turned off and they struggle to be like disassociated from the main family unit. At least I've witnessed that in a bunch of different cases where they think their parents hate them because they won't financially fund their life or whatever. But that's not the way it works. Your parents are trying to show you that you need to stand on your own 2 feet and earn your own living and, you know, have your own life. They're like, "We raised you till you were 18. It's time for, you know, me and your mum to spend your inheritance and go on holiday without you." I get it. I mean, I know a lot of people struggle with that phase. That's not what this one is, I don't think, but I have seen others that are for that. Journey to Justice says she looked like a good-looking woman in that wig. In the one she was wearing in this one, I haven't seen a close-up of her. Perfect Summer. I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, maybe that's what it was in this one with Mia Bailey, or maybe they sometimes people who are gay or transgender or other, ch- uh, things like that. Sometimes if you come from a very strict household or you come from a highly religious household, just sometimes they will never conform to what you think you or no. I don't know how to word it, but they just don't understand and they just never will. They'll never find acceptance because they were brought up in a different era or they just don't accept. And unfortunately it causes a lot of rifts in people's lives. Deborah says, me and my parents had our problems, but killing them was never an option. Hey, Kata. Bye. See you, Catatonic. Have a great Saturday. Or Saturday? Sunday for you. Have a great Sunday, Catatonic. Moonlight a little hot. Yeah, I sort of, well, I think that that's where you get the pull and tug of the situation. They don't want to necessarily be 100% detached from the family unit, even though they do want to go live their own lives, or they don't like their parents' judgment of their lives or whatever. It's very complicated, unfortunately. That's why we have family courts who run for like I don't know, 6 years on different cases, and we have all these different other ones that go through the public system that, you know, spend 5.5 years in the court system. It's very sad that anyone needs to die because of it. All right. I don't think I have any other updates. It's been a bit of a slow Saturday. Bit of a slow Saturday. You know, actually, I got one more that I just want to touch on and then we're out of here, okay? There was another I brought you a story a few months ago about I think he was a veteran. He was in the military. His wife was poisoning his coffee. Do you remember that one? And then they moved to Arizona and he put up all the cameras and caught her putting poison in his coffee machine. Do you remember that one? Well, I'm looking here and I see Wisconsin woman attempted to poison veterinarian husband with animal euthanasia drugs to steal his assets. Amanda Chapin faces 12.5 years behind bars for allegedly poisoning her husband, 71, at least 3 times. It says here she pleaded no contest on Friday to a charge of felony first-degree reckless endangering the safety of Gary Chapin, per Wisconsin Circuit Court records. The charges were downgraded from first-degree attempted homicide in a plea deal with Lafayette County prosecutors last week. Chapin allegedly put barbiturates she stole from her husband in his coffee 3 times between July and August 2022. The couple were married in March of that year, after which the woman forged one of her husband's children's signatures on a power of attorney document, according to the criminal complaint previously reviewed by Fox News Digital. Here is the photo of her booking photo. There you go. That is Amanda Chapin, accused of stealing drugs from her veterinarian husband and putting it, poisoning him with it to try and steal his assets. The woman also insisted that her husband amend the deed to his house to ensure that she would be the sole homeowner in the event of his death. 2 weeks after the deed was amended, Chapin allegedly began drugging her husband's coffee. Chapin met the 70-year-old veterinarian online, according to the paper. Their relationship was fairly stormy from the beginning, and the man's family had suspicions that he was just a sugar daddy for Amanda. The third and final dose of the drugs put in his coffee, or into Gary Chapin, put him into a 4-day coma, and his blood work found the same drugs he used to put animals down in his system. Chapin reportedly waited 3 hours to call 911 when he wouldn't wake up. Only a few hours after he fell into a coma, prosecutors said Chapin lodged into his personal email and began forwarding herself email conversations with his attorney and children. Before the drugs were discovered in his father's system, Gary Chapin's son filed a restraining order against Amanda, suspecting that she had been the cause of her father's medical emergency. According to the criminal complaint, Chapin violated the restraining order in September 2022 by emailing her husband a S note saying that she decided to remove herself from this world because her husband's children were trying to destroy her. Okay. The only thing I'm guilty of is loving you so much, the note said. Okay, I'm sure. When I often love people, I like to steal drugs from their workplace. I like to inject them into them. And then I like to steal their assets. That's what that's love to me. I mean, every day, it's what I see it on Hallmark cards. When you watch the Hallmark channel, they have like 50 shows based on people poisoning people to show their love. They made a whole brand around it. They're like, on this Sunday for Mother's Day, how I love thee, put a poison in your coffee to kill you, and you won't be around next year. Happens every year. Yeah, way to go to the son. He knew, he was onto it. He knew that this woman was just trying to steal money and assets from the family. Good work to the son. Hey, Gambler, how are you? Gambler says, I hear you, Ping. It's hard to know the proper words to use. When I was in hospital, a male went by the name Blossom. I wasn't sure how to refer to them. Turned out wanted to be called he. Yeah, I often get a little stumbly when talking about it because I'm not into that world, so I don't understand every little bit and piece of what they want to be called and such. I try my best and I try not to offend anyone, but I don't always succeed. Yeah, she's got the mental health. You'd be like, oh man, she caught the mental health and then decided to poison someone. It's a insidious thing. Drives everyone to kill people. Yeah, I'll love you to death. I'll love you to poison. I'll love you until the poison kicks in. It is not a funny subject. I know I'm making a couple of jokes, but it's happening more and more. And apparently, certain men of a certain age who may not have a wife, there's a group of women that sometimes they target, and apparently online it is well known that you need to be careful because a lot of them will try and kill you to try and take your money. It's a well-known sort of trope, if you will. No, it was too long. It needs to be shorter. It needs to be like 5 words. I just trailed off at the end. It needs to be like 5 words only. That's love, that's amore. Yeah. That's love, that's a poison. All right. Hey, I love you all. You're all amazing. I'm gonna wrap up here now. No. I think if I was poisoning her, she'd be less sick than she is now. No, she's got some health issues that she's had for a really long time, and they sort of, without giving too many details, they just flare up from time to time, and the flare-ups can be quite bad. They vary. It can be sort of up and down. Sometimes it's easy and it sort of goes away after a couple of weeks. Sometimes it's quite serious and it needs more intervention. Right now, she's going through a pretty bad one, unfortunately. Well, Gambler, I'm glad you got out of there without saying something offensive. Natasha, it was nice to see you in the chat. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. And we had someone else too. Where are they? I always like to say hi to people I don't see in the chat that often. Let me see. There was one other person. Chip. Thanks for dropping in, Chip. I appreciate it. And to you too as well, Natasha. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And to all my regulars, Kathy and the Journey to Justice, Deborah, Gambler, Laura. Who else did we have here tonight? I just don't want Catatonic was here earlier too. We had a whole bunch of people. Really nice. Moonlight View, our sole and only moderator was here. Diane Marie made it here. We had a whole bunch of people. Bullseye made it. Hey, Bullseye. I'm just trying to see if there's anyone else. Did I miss anyone? Shad made it here. Andrew was here as well. Hey, Andrew, good to see you. Anyone else before I go? Brenda was here earlier too. Same with Lux. They were there a little while ago. Four Sons Mum made it. Marilyn Landis. Even Web Sleuths dropped by. Hey, glad they're having a night off and relaxing a little bit. Laura T. Anyone else did I miss? If I missed you, I'm sorry. I love you all. Hey, have a great rest of your Saturday night. Robbie's here. Hey, Robbie. Hey, Robbie. Have a great rest of your Saturday night. We will be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is Sunday Nights with Ping. We actually have an interesting day tomorrow. There's two things going on. One, the jury of Gregory Lynn will be back in deliberations from 10 a.m. in local time. Then there's another court thing with the government going on in the afternoon, and I will fill you in on that. It's actually a life-changing decision for over 2 million people in Australia, and we're going to follow it. I'm going to show it to you tomorrow night. Natasha says, subscribe now. See you again. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your subscription. That's really kind of you. Thank you. Thanks to Trisha for recommending the channel. I very much appreciate it. It's very kind of her. I'm glad to have you as a new subscriber. When I can talk properly, it's a good channel. When I mumble, it's not. Okay, hey, have a great rest of your Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday morning tomorrow for those of you in the USA. If you're in Australia, enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon before work starts tomorrow. The new week starts on Monday. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your night or day wherever you are. Love you all. Oh, wait, did we say, wait, where am I going? Thanks to Laurie and thanks to Kim for the super chats. I really appreciate it. Damn it, Ping. I gotta say thank you to people. And I've got to say thank you to the people from yesterday. Kim F, Deborah Lewis, Lynn D, Laura T, and my secret admirer, who I won't tell you who that is. Thank you guys for your donations all over this weekend. I very much appreciate the support of the channel. And I'll see you later, okay? Hey, love you all. Bye-bye. Bye.